Hey guys, it's me, John YouTube, owner of the biggest channel on YouTube and also YouTube.com itself. I promised you guys that for the milestone of 50,000 subscribers, thank you, I would let you ask me any question that your hearts desired. I'm sure that they're gonna be fun, intelligent, innocent, well thought out, and well-meaning. Certainly. So without further ado, Luka Levy Q&A. Congrats for the subs, but I have to ask, would you ever consider oiling up? Well-meaning and well thought out. You know, consider it. Potentially. Maybe we can revisit this discussion at a milli. 100K oil up video? Can you tell some of the family lore? I know you're from Serbia, but can you tell the story of how you got to America and all that? This was also a common question. It's interesting, but I got to America as soon as I exited the womb. So I was actually born in New York. I was born in Queens, Astoria, just like Peter Parker. At some point, my family moved back to Europe, back to Serbia, during elementary school, and then we came back to California, and that's where we've been since. I mostly went to school in America. I also went to school in Serbia. That's why I have no accent in either language, but I have a lot of friends out there. My entire family's over there, so I visit all the time. Outside of being the greatest human, what hobbies do you have? Holy glaze, my dude. Stop the glaze. I like playing basketball, playing video games, piano, reading manga, going out with friends pretty often, being a generally great human. I watch a lot of YouTube, a lot of comedy. I'm in the gym all the time. A lot of this you guys probably already know from just watching the videos, but yeah, I'm a little bit of a renaissance man, if I do say so myself. If you had to be in a horse costume with any celebrity, which one would you pick? And would you want to be in the front half or the back half? I don't know why, but the first person that comes to mind is Ryan Gosling. We would be in a movie together. It'd be a buddy comedy. I'd be in the front, he'd be in the back, and then at some point in the movie, we'd switch sides. It'd be a whole clusterfuck. And I mean, we'd have great on-screen chemistry. Or maybe Jack Black. Could space-time emerge from quantum entanglement? And if so, does this explain why Einstein's gravitational theories break down at the Planck scale? I trust you to deliver an insightful response. Of course. Excellent question and a very important one. But recent theoretical developments actually suggest that space-time may be an emergent phenomenon arising from patterns of quantum entanglement rather than a fundamental structure. And this perspective actually helps explain why Einstein's theory of general relativity breaks down at the Planck scale, where quantum effects dominate and a classic description of spacetime becomes insufficient. Therefore, I do think so, yeah. Are you a grower or shower? Oof, rough one, because I have grown a lot over the years, and contrary to everyone else on the internet, I do shower, so probably both. Congrats, man, you deserve it. Thank you. What is your secret to such dashing looks? Well, outside the obvious genetic lottery win, a tip for everybody is that confidence goes so much farther than basically anything else. So back in high school, when I realized that I am a god amongst men, Satoru Gojo in real life, the confidence was just there. Everyone believes me. What I'm trying to say is that image is everything, and if you fool yourself into thinking you're incredibly good looking, you can fool everyone else as well. This type of question was asked pretty often, so I'll just group them all together. Congrats, bro. Honestly, you deserve a lot more than 50K. One of the most underrated YouTubers I've come across. For my question, it's a bit boring, but what got you into content creating? My first YouTube channel was created when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, and it was just me playing Pokemon on emulator. What really got me into content creating, though, is that I watched a lot of YouTube when I was growing up. A lot of PewDiePie, Smosh, Niga Higa, Ray William Johnson, PokeAim MD, Hey Done. I always thought that being an entertainer would be super fun, and I've always personally also wanted to be an actor. And then one day while working my day job, I decided to start uploading again because I took this enormous pause from when I was a kid, and I realized how much fun I had when I was creating videos as a child, and I also realized that YouTube became something that it wasn't when I was a child. It lost its magic, and I don't like this hyper-niched, hyper-focused, hyper-money-making agenda that a lot of content creators have now. So that's the goal with this channel. Bring that feeling back is what I mean to say. And I genuinely like interacting with you guys a lot. I think you're really funny sometimes, and I like knowing your opinions on whatever it is we're talking about. So I think bringing back the variety content is kind of the goal for YouTube, but what got me into content creating is just consuming a lot of it as a child. How big is it? I'm 6'4", around 194 centimeters. Why did you start making videos? Already answered that. What's your favorite video? Congratulations on the subs. I think my favorite video that I've ever made is I Miss the Old YouTube, the song that I made, a Christmas special, just because it kind of summarizes my thoughts on what I just said prior. Writing the song itself was so fun, and then performing was great. I really liked every red flag video. I thought that there were a lot of jokes that I included there, double entendre, more traditional comedy. Trying every YouTuber apology format was a fun one. I had a lot of fun making that one. The Immortal Snail, of course, I had that idea for a video and I thought that the ending was simply genius. But overall, it's probably I miss the old YouTube. Even though it might not be my best video, I had the most fun and I'm probably the most proud of it. Congrats, Goat, and do you suffer from creative burnout and how do you get out of it? It's tough for me to answer that question because I wouldn't call it creative burnout, but I do know what you mean. I spend a lot of time thinking about what kind of videos I can make, and I try so hard to make actually completely variety content to stop myself from feeling creator burnout and hopefully bring in people from this angle and have you guys not be bored of the same type of content. I've been making 3 videos a week for about a year now, and by far the most difficult thing is coming up with a wide range of ideas. But what keeps me going, and I don't mean this to sound incredibly cocky and or gatekeepy, is that there is so much shitty content out there that I simply feel like I must fix it. Although I probably make shitty content too. So yeah. But if you ever suffer from creative burnout, my tip to you is that you start consuming the media that you like and media that you've never seen before, because there's inspiration in everything and new ideas are everywhere. Can you shave your eyebrows or at least buzz cut? Probably not, but talk to me again later. For real though, what's your plan for YouTube moving on? I'd love to see more IRL videos. I'd also like to see more IRL videos. It's tough to get cameramen involved because other people have other things that they want to do and I don't have a team. That being said, I will do more of them, and the plan for YouTube moving on is just to keep thinking of ideas, keep getting ideas from you guys, and having a good time building this community. I'm honestly having an amazing time. That's why I do this. Do you have siblings? If so, which child are you? I could imagine all 3, but I'm guessing middle child. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, okay? I'm the eldest. I have a younger sister. What are your top 5 games of all time? Also, have you played Subnautica? I actually haven't played Subnautica, but I've watched a lot of gameplay. Okay, top 5 games. I've been thinking about this genuinely for so long, and I don't know that I can give a top 5, but usually I say that my favorite game of all time is Red Dead 2. I love Undertale, I love Pokemon in general, but probably mostly gens 3 to 5. I love Terraria, God of War. Huge Nintendo guy, I love a lot of Mario games, I love Sonic games, I love Enter the Gungeon. Huge indie game guy as well. There's so many games to choose from, but those are some that stand out right off rip. Out of all the viewers' insane confessions, what confession has been the wildest ones? I mean, obviously I don't include these in the videos, but there was low-key more incestual confessions than you might think. And also some where, like, death was involved that I felt uncomfortable showing on YouTube. Because they were incredibly sus about, like, killing and stuff. What was your first anime? My first anime ever was Naruto, and I watched it in Serbian dub. Those were great times. I highly recommend you check that out. It's very cringe. Are you ever gonna do daddy ASMR? Are we interested in that? Fave TV show, and why are you a robot? I'm not a robot. I'm a lizard man. And my favorite TV show is probably Better Call Saul. Are you working right now, and if so, what's your career? Do you plan on making YouTube a full-time job if possible? And as an extremely intelligent Stanford graduate, do you think college is overrated? So by profession, I am a software engineer with a specialty in AI and machine learning. And I did that for years right after college, but just a bit ago I actually stopped because I was feeling pretty burnt out and I was doing YouTube on the side. I feel very fortunate to have been able to do that because if you don't know, AI software engineers make a lot of money. So I had the opportunity to do this. But now I have a lot of recruiters in my DMs with some pretty interesting propositions, so I might go back to work and create videos on the side again, but yeah. And do I think college is overrated? No, I don't think so at all. I actually think it's one of the best things you can do for most people, and it's an incredible indicator of success. That being said, it's not for everybody. And you obviously shouldn't force yourself to go to college and get a degree in something that you're not passionate about and that you don't care about. There are many, many, many ways to succeed in life. What college is good for is particularly if you have the money to pay for college and you get security, usually through a job afterwards. There's other ways to get jobs too. You know what I think is super underrated though, and I have incredible respect for anyone that does? Pursuing your dreams. Literally, do what you love. And you should end up succeeding in one way or another. if you have the grit and determination. Nice. As for a question I'm curious about, do you truly doubt the existence of free will? No. When will you do a face reveal? Considering my VTuber model is updated daily, I don't plan on doing it ever. But maybe if we hit 10 million subscribers. Congrats, Luka. Would you keep the 50k subs or double it and give it to Mr. Beast? I'm doubling it and giving it to Mr. Beast, no question. He is the greatest content creator to ever live. No question. Maybe actually the best human, too. I'm sorry. What is the first video game you remember playing / completing? I think I was 4 years old. I got a Game Boy Advance from a family friend, and I played Sonic Advance. And that's where it started. My love for Sonic. I love Sonic so much, and the games that go along with it too, unfortunately. Question, if my friend was gay and he was hypothetically hitting on me, but I'm straight, how do I hypothetically get him to stop? Why do you need him to stop? Kill him. I like this one. I don't comment too much, but I do want to ask where you get your audacity and confidence. Like, what the fuck? How do you say half the things you do, especially with it seeming like you haven't been posting for that long? Not trying to be rude. I mean this as mostly a positive. I just laugh at some of the stuff you say out loud. I'm assuming you mean some of the out-of-pocket jokes. My theory, mentality here is that nothing I say comes from a malicious place. I can tell you that. So I have no issue making those jokes. I don't think anything I say spreads hate or negativity, and I think it's incredibly obvious to see when someone is meaning it versus saying it as a joke. And like I said earlier in this video, I really like comedy, and I've always thought that comedy is meant to push the boundaries of societal interactions. So I think it's all okay. Obviously there's a time and a place, and you shouldn't be joking with anybody or in any situation, but I also do like some of my jokes to make you think a little more and have actual real world knowledge, as opposed to just being loud or stupid, which I also do. I'm so proud of my top 5 YouTuber Pookie. As for the question, I have to know, and this might be a little too personal, how many holes do you think a straw has? I made a video about that. Go watch it right now, and then comment and I'll reply to you, maybe. Congrats on the big 5-0. My question is, what must we do to get you into a maid costume? You guys really want to see all this, huh? 500k. Take it or leave it. What's something or someone that motivates and uplifts you? Congrats, by the way, you've deserved this and you can only go higher from here. Thank you very much. I don't want this to sound stupid or cliche, but what really motivates me is, like I said, I have this goal for YouTube. I want to create videos that I would watch as a child or even now and have fun and bring back content to some level of standard, in my opinion, that doesn't exist. So having the goal is kind of what drives me, and the fact that I really am enjoying this so much and learning from and about you guys. Hey Luka, I'm a 34-year-old millennial, I'm sorry, and I'm looking for advice on how to riz 25-year-old Zoomers, preferably female. What does riz mean and how do I achieve it? Also, you don't need to say for real twice if you want me to believe you. Hey Dragon Tiger Boss, my first suggestion to you is to learn all of Twitch lingo and incorporate it into your vernacular. So things like pog, W, chat, constantly saying bro. And then I want you to go to where the nearest rich white women go out and start talking to them in this lingo. They find it really attractive, know exactly what you're talking about, and they'll kiss you. On the cheek, maybe, even. Riz means charisma. Are you single? No. I have a wonderful and beautiful girlfriend who watches all of my videos, unfortunately. Are you racist? What? No. What? No. 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 Do you have any pets? If so, can we see them? Not anymore. Breaks my heart. But here's a picture. What character stole your identity before Gojo, if any? I'm assuming you mean which character was literally me. Honestly, once JJK came out and I saw how Gojo behaved in the anime, this was the first character that I was like, this is by far exactly me. This is literally how I behave to my close friends and family, and also strangers. I'm actually so annoying. How do you go about your daily life? Like, how do you spend your day regularly? I wake up, I go to the gym for a strong, sweaty workout, and then I go home and I work. Basically all day, and I work almost every single day, and then at night, maybe I'll go for a walk, or I'll just play some video games and hang out. And during the weekend, I try to see my friends by actually going out. Sometimes late nights. If one animal was completely docile towards you, which would you want it to be, and would you keep it as a pet? I'm low-key going with elephant or orca. I feel like those are pretty abusable. Not that I can control them, I guess they're just docile. But it would be pretty sick to be Elephant Man or Orca Man. If possible, what would a P.O. box be if we wanted to send fan mail? I thought about opening one before, Comment down below if you're interested, and we can do it, and I'll keep you guys posted. Are you actually Eastern European? Yes. Also, why did you take Japanese classes in college? Are you a weeb? No. That's for losers. Why did I take Japanese classes in college? I love Japan. And the one thing I love more than Japan is flexing on Japanese people. So that when I go to Japan and I speak Japanese, all the locals are like, wow! So yeah, pretty cool moment. What is your favorite game, movie, and anime of all time? Game we covered. Movie is probably The Godfather. Comedy movie is the Hangover series because it's just so relatable. And anime, I was asked a lot of times. I'll give you a top 5. Naruto, it was my first and it holds a special place in my heart. Gintama, I think, is incredibly good and underrated to most people like outside of Japan. Hunter x Hunter, perfect shonen. Vinland Saga changed me. And then my number 5 is pretty tough. I love JoJo's. I love JJK, and I love Tokyo Ghoul, the manga. I think they're all so good, and depending on my mood, can slot into number 5. You are my favorite Serbian guy. Thanks, dude. Give us a fun fact about Serbia. Fun fact, the Serbian government has no idea what they're doing, or they just don't care. Would you rather be a femboy? Sure. Just kidding. That's how I get you guys. You're already so horny and degen. Remove this from the video. Who did you main when you played League? Mostly AP Assassins and Mages. I played a lot of Kassadin and LeBlanc, Victor, Zed at one point, Azir. Goated champs. When are you going to start streaming, Mr. Levy? I know I've been talking about it for a while, and I've been considering it for a while. I just don't know at this size whether it's worth it, unless you guys really want to see streams. And what would you want to see streamed if that's the case? Would you punch a baby for $10 million? Yes. Easily. I'd do it multiple times. Depending on the baby, I might even do it for free. What's your squat, bench, and deadlift? I stopped benching a while ago. I've mentioned this in videos in the past, but it was around 245. Squat, like 315, and deadlift, a little over 405. 4 plates and a bit. What's your favorite Pokemon? Charizard. Basic answer, but he's the best. He simply is. He's the coolest. Charizard is the best. Other favorites, though, are Swampert and Deoxys. Do you regret going to college, and how is it like? It looks like a lot of people have this question. No, I don't regret going to college. It was great. It was some of the best years of my life, and it set me up to do things that I loved in life. So I'm very thankful for the people that I met and the opportunities that were given to me afterwards. I will also say that I was in a very fortunate situation. Stanford University, Leland Stanford Jr. Hey Luka, when will you start your OnlyFans? Luka, I keep asking in the YouTube comments, but is the OnlyFans truly coming? We need it. Hold your horses, dude. I mean, come on. Let a guy breathe, okay? What if I started an OnlyFans and I didn't post erotic photos? What if it was just me in a maid outfit? Or oiled up at 1 million or whatever I said? Would you still pay? Do you play Pokemon Showdown? Haven't in a while, but I used to spam so much. You should collab with Blunder if you do. That would be goated. Blunder's my goat. Agency. What are your top 3 favorite things and 3 least favorite things? Wow. My top 3 favorite things would probably be women's suffrage, the idea of a mother's love, and this video. And my top 3 least favorite things would probably be beats. I think they're fucking disgusting. Forgetting to save and then having to redo a whole section of a video game is just super boring, and maybe like genocide. If you were to isekai to one anime of your choice, what would it be? Maybe a basic answer, but probably Pokemon. It's not too dangerous, and I think I'd have an amazing time. And last but not least, dick reveal when? Thank you. Suggest something. And, you know, we'll see what we can do. And there you have it, the 50K special. I hope you learned something. I hope you had a good time. If you did enjoy it, please consider liking and subscribing. I was as honest as possible. I'm an honest ape. Babe. Including all the stuff about YouTube. So if there's anything that you'd like to see from the channel, drop it in the comments down below. Any games to play, series to cover, real world things to do, community discussions, everything I do for you. And go check out other videos on the channel. Whole library of variety content like I've been preaching. It's pretty good sometimes. I make myself laugh. I hope you laugh as well. Until next time, this was fun. I love you, and goodbye.